veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome in, welcome in. We are back with Married at First Sight. Goodbye, single life. Hello, marriage. This is season 17 or 5011, as my girl Roro likes to say. And this is episode 4, in case you're counting. There's Roro right there. So, how are you guys doing? How are you, Sean? Good to have you back.
Well, thank you. I'm
And
doing well.
doing well. Okay. And Kimberly Best, how are you? Kimberly Reviews, how are you?
Doing great. Good to be here.
Oh, good, good. There we go. Got that banner going now. Yes, yes, yes. As I was telling them, guys, we're gonna get in and we're gonna get out. This was I thought it was a fairly good episode for what it is. We know they gotta do their maths is just gonna stick with that formula of, meet the family. How do you guys feel about the Meet the Family episode after the weddings? What do you guys think? Maybe I'm jaded. I
Un-
don't know. What do you think,
It's
Sean?
unnecessary. It's unnecessary to me. I mean, you just met them
Yeah.
at the daggone wedding and
Hmm.
reception. No need to go and have lunch the next day. I like my breakfast, whatever brunch.
Brunch, yeah, yeah. I think
I
I
love
think
it.
I think I would like it if they did it after they came back. I think that the idea that they're telling the family members are giving their impressions of their family member or friends in some cases. I think it kind of jades the person who's hearing it because I don't know if you're going to have the same experience with that person right off the bat. But Kimberly, what are you saying? You say you love it? Go ahead, tell us about why.
Yes. I do because, like you just said, but the opposite, it does give you insight on the person, kind of like you would do in a regular relationship when you're dating. You would meet the family and the friends and get to know a little bit more about that person. And this process is just so fast. You have to kind of get it in when you can. And I would hate to go on the honeymoon and it be ruined because I didn't know that my partner liked one thing or the other. So it's not but so much that you could cover with the person. So just having that second, third, fourth opinion from family and friends would be helpful for me. I would like it.
Right, right, right. That's a good point. That's a good point. I guess, Kimberly, I'm just feeling like, look, these folks are not teenagers. They're not early or even mid 20s. So anything that I
Right.
don't like, if I like to sleep with the window open in the middle of the winter, and we're gonna get to that in a minute,
Right.
I will let you know because I do have a mouth and a voice, and I know how to speak and to communicate those things, right? And then we can
Yep.
discuss it. Like I like to sleep with the window open in winter, and you're like, but babe, it's too cold. It's 30 degrees outside, So we can go from there. That's what I'm saying. I think to me, like when you meet somebody in the real world, you just get a sense of them without that's why I think a lot of times people delay you meeting their family in the real world, in real life.
Yes.
You don't
Hmm.
meet somebody's family usually after the first date, the second date, the third date, right? So
Right.
I just feel a certain way about it. I feel like it should be done for sure, but the brunches could happen when they get back from the honeymoon. But by that time they might hate each other anyway, so who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. And I think the tips help them on the honeymoon, just knowing more about the person's personality and what they prefer. That would be helpful.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you know what, Kimberly, again, I know I'm jaded, but I see so much of these like over the seasons. How many
Yeah.
times have we heard the family and particularly the friends say, well, you know what, he's basically a jerk to the bride. Or,
Hmm.
the girlfriends say, like, well, she's never been in a relationship before, and just keep hammering that home to the point where at first he says, well, okay, he doesn't have a problem with that, but if they just keep repeating it over and over again, I don't know. It's almost like they're trying to cause these people to have neuroses of their own. But we're gonna get started with the least interesting couple this week on this episode. I found to be but pleasantly so, because sometimes these least interesting people, like last season, Kimberly, we recall, was it Nicole? And I
Yes,
can't remember her
Chris.
Chris, yes, that's right. They were the least interesting, and they were the only one that
Chris,
stayed
Chris,
together. Chris, right? She
Chris.
said it, Chris. So, but we're going to talk
Mhm.
about Becca and Austin. Um, Sean, if you want to take give us your take on Becca and Austin. For example, did you think that they seem to have a chemistry? Did they seem to like each other so far on this episode? What were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I'm still trying to learn names and put faces with names. But I think they had good chemistry, pretty
Well,
much so.
yeah, Becca's the one with the pink hair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She's over top personality. She's Miss Go Getter. I think she's the photographer, right?
Correct, correct. That's it.
Yeah, she she's a mess. He's the bad boy with the backward cap.
Right. And where's it to bed? Now, I thought that was weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's not even bald headed. That's the thing.
I think that's trying to be his New Yorker look, I guess.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he had any ties to New York, does he?
Yeah, he said he's from New York. He's a New Yorker. That's what he
No, I
says.
thought that was Brennan. That's Brennan. That's Emily's husband, the Russian.
Oh, that's Brennan. Okay, Brennan. Okay, Brennan. Okay, Brennan. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so let me see what else did I have in my notes about them. What did you think about when Becca was going to tell Austin? She told him the next day about her medical surgery that she had had, about what they discovered, and about her having an autoimmune disorder. What did you think about how he took that and how he handled that, Sean?
Well, I'm glad she told him. I mean, instead of him finding out way later in the process, I think it was good to get it up front and out the way. And I think what it looked like on camera, it looked like he handled it very well. It might be a little bit overwhelming and challenging for him to think that, oh wow, I just got married, and my God, I got to deal with this. But I'm glad she did tell him and not kept it from him. I'm glad that the bridesmaids didn't say anything about it, because I know how the
Right.
bridesmaids or groomsmen can be. Yeah.
Right. Until the brunch, when it was kind of funny when they said, "Well, did she tell you about her autoimmune disorder?" And I'm like, "Well, if she didn't,
Oh
he
wow.
knows now."
She,
Yeah, they said
Right.
that at
yeah,
the brunch. So, but
yeah.
I'm almost certain in my mind. I feel like that's something she had already texted ahead and let them know that she had talked to him
Mhm.
about it. So, guys, that's how I feel about that. Wasn't a bad thing. Mm, Kimberly, what are your thoughts? Thank you, Sean.
Oh, yes, I agree with you all. I'm glad that she did get that conversation out of the way. I just wonder how Austin feels. Is he the type of person that likes to do activities? Because Becca did say that she's in pain a lot, so she won't be as active as someone may like. Some people like someone to be adventurous and go golf karting or whatever, and she's probably not going to be up to those spontaneous events, maybe if she's not feeling her best, because she says she is in pain every day. But so glad that they went on and got that conversation out the way. I guess this would be considered like the second date. I don't know if I would tell my person that on the second date or third date, but this is a different process. You're married at first sight, so you kind of got to change some things. Now, I did find it interesting that he said he likes to sleep on one side of the bed or another. And I just wonder, do you all have sides of the bed that you like to sleep on?
Oh,
Hey,
that's a good question.
I usually like to sleep on the side closer to the door.
Yeah, that's what I think as men. I always let my men sleep close to the door, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that was the way my mom and dad did it too. Like the
yeah.
man as the protector has that, in some relationships and some marriages has that role of sleeping close to
Hmm.
the door. So I definitely like that.
Me too.
But as I go to the bathroom sometimes at night, sometimes I might want to be the one sleeping close to the door. But maybe we have a suite. Maybe at this point where we're married, we have a suite, and the bathroom is on the opposite side. So I'm closest to that, and he's closest to the door.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys posted on that one.
All right.
But as we proceed on, okay, so Emily and Brennan, and Emily is Miss Miss Lady who likes to drink, and Brennan, of course,
Oh
again,
yeah.
is the Russian that, as we pointed out, he originally is from New York. He's 100% Russian. He says that his dad drinks vodka like it's water.
Let's drink
So
a
this,
toast.
yeah, so this episode, I wanted to ask, I guess, my first question, which is a very serious question, but a funny question too. Do we really believe that Emily and Brennan, with all that heat and chemistry that was coming off of them ever since they first met, do we really believe that they have not consummated their marriage yet after that first night? Because I'm gonna tell you,
Ah,
my hand
it
is
was.
up. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Because she didn't even have any underwear on under her bridal gown. So no, I'm not
No, she
buying
the
it.
she the one that was doing handstands at the bachelorette party, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it in. They got it in. I
They
think.
got it in. Come on, you ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling not this old head. You not. And the way he kept touching her when he was helping her get undressed, he just had a very. I think he has a lot of charm. You can tell that she's very fascinated and very pleased by his physicality, his looks. He's a nice looking guy, and they're very attracted to one another. So I think they got it in. What are your thoughts, Sean, on that?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. They're not gonna tell you yet, but I think it's gonna come out after a while. Yeah, I think they were little rabbits because I mean, she, she- she's the one that's quote. I think she's the one that's quote unquote sex positive, right? So yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
means. I still never looked
Well,
that up.
I don't know what it means either, but yeah.
I don't even know if I want to know. Yeah, yeah. We think so. Okay, so Kimberly, we gotta get Kimberly into this. Kimberly, what do you think? Do you think they consummated the marriage, Emily and Brennan, or not?
I don't know. I hear oftentimes even people who are married in like regular marriages that they don't really get it in the night before. I mean, the night after the wedding. And two, they could have already gotten it in prior to getting married because you know how this process is. But I think there was a lot
Oh,
of cuddling and, a lot of touching.
okay.
And I think they got
Okay,
very close.
okay. I'm gonna ask you like Keisha Knight Pulling. I'm gonna ask you. So, do you think it was like a middle school level, high school level, or
Oh,
college level cuddling?
maybe high school.
High school.
I
Okay,
do like
okay.
that. I like her levels.
Okay, yeah, I
Netflix and
agree. I
chill.
agree. I agree. I agree. I think it was probably that. And Kimberly, we're gonna stick with you for a second. Also, and the reason, part of the reason why is because do you guys remember when she said the line and it was written across the screen because she kind of whispered it to him? She says, "I really want them," talking about the cameramen and the producers, to leave. So I
Hmm.
don't know. Maybe they didn't go.
Yeah.
Maybe they did a Monica Lewinsky and not the. I don't know. They did something. They did something. I don't know.
Right.
Um, let's talk about. We just talked about what. That was a very good question. Kimberly brought up what side of the bed. Let's talk about this. Who likes to sleep hot and who sleeps cold? Because Emily pointed out the fact that she likes to sleep with the window up even in the winter, and I kind of got it because if you think back, remember how she's always sweating and she's always flushing. So I think she
Hmm.
runs warm as a person. What do you think, Sean? What do you think?
That very well could be. I mean, I think they're both. I mean, it's not like um, one is from a very hot climate place and the other one's from a very cold climate place. So probably he could get used to it. Now Denver is a different type of cold, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, sometimes I mean because of women's hormonal cycles, women can be a little bit hotter on average in temperature than men. So yeah, I can see that.
Oh, okay. Okay,
She
yeah.
might
I
she
see.
she might be premenopausal. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, you never know.
You know what? A lot of these women don't understand, like I do, that at 35, 34, 35, 36, you actually do hit a cycle, not menopause for
Yeah,
most women, but you hit perimenopause. And you're right. Some women,
yeah.
unfortunately, because of their genes or
Mhm.
environmental pollution, some women actually do start to hit menopause. So that's why I say I think it's interesting that women are waiting so long to have these children nowadays. But that's a choice. That's a choice. Um, Good
Mhm.
point, though. Kimberly, what do you think about the sleeping hot, sleeping cold? Because I tend to, and I'm going to say this too. I tend to like a little air in the room. I like my room to just be a lower temperature. I don't want it to be above, like say 68 or 70.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm hot natured, so I love a cool room. And it's
That's
funny because one of the singles groups that I'm in, they said something like, you have to be sure that you and your mate are temperature compatible. And it's something I never thought about. Like if someone hot natured, but I sleep with the fan on all year long. So that's my thing. Windows
me
open, no.
too.
Like I never open my windows, but that's something I want to get into more, now that she said it, because it is good for the natural air to come in. But oh no, I'm not opening windows, but I do have to have it cool all year
Yeah.
long.
You know what? I have a
Well,
ceiling fan, and
go ahead.
it runs every single night, whether it's
Me too.
winter time or whether it's summer. It doesn't matter. It's
Yes.
running all time and at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And hey there,
Well, I
Monique.
just,
Hey
I
there.
just recently,
Welcome in. Go ahead.
I just recently got used to sleeping without a t-shirt on and socks. So I mean,
Oh wow.
Ooh,
I mean,
now see, I
I
could
mean,
never
you know,
go to bed with
I
socks. I could never. I could never even dream of
Wow.
going to bed with socks on. Where am I at? Alaska?
My mom does it right here in North Carolina. She loves sleeping in socks.
Ooh, that make you know what? It's two things that keep your heat in your body is at your base of your is at your foot and at your head. I can't sleep with
Hmm.
when no
Me
no.
either.
Let
Same.
the heat out. Let the heat out.
because what we,
Yeah.
I cannot stand to go into the kitchen barefoot. No, I can't go in the bathroom barefoot. No.
Well, I see what you're saying about that. I do sometimes in the very dead of winter here in Michigan, I will probably have sometimes the little footies, the little no show
Yeah, that's why
footies
I wear it.
on.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But like when you say socks, I guess I'm thinking of all the way up to the knee.
No, no, I got little ankle socks. I got ankle
Yeah,
socks
I'm
on.
thinking of
Yeah,
that.
I
And
wear
then
ankle
the other
socks.
thing I'm thinking is, Kimberly, you know what? Usually I keep my slippers by my bedside. So when I fall out the bed, get out to go get something or whatever in the middle of the night,
Hmm.
I've got my slippers. So it's not
Me
like it's
too.
my feet are gonna be cold, but that's a very good point. A wise woman told me years ago, she said, be sure, like you said to your point, Kimberly, is check out the person that you're gonna be with, what time they like to go to bed. Are they noisy? Do they
Hmm.
wake up early? Are you a late sleeper on the weekends and all that kind of stuff? So all those things actually do matter.
Hmm.
They do.
They
They do.
really do.
I mean,
They really
because
do.
it's about compatibility of rhythm. Whatever kind of every kind of rhythm. Sleep patterns. Somebody could be a night owl, where somebody's a butt crack of dawn. Somebody could be. I mean, so
Yeah, that's
whether
true.
somebody's then there's some people that are heavy sleepers, then some people are light sleepers. So yeah.
Right, right. That is true. I got one last question on this couple. Okay, so do we think their drinking is going to be a bond between them because we saw them kind of throwing back those little bottles in the hotel? What do you guys think about that? I'm going to go to Kimberly. Kimberly, what do you think?
I think so. And I was so nervous for Brandon when I saw Emily just going crazy before they got married now, doing all her drinking. And Lord, they matched her with her equal. I can't believe it. For the first time, for the first time in Married at First Sight history, they finally put two people together who love to drink. So I
Mhm.
guess it's going to go well. I'm not even concerned anymore. Enjoy. Who's going to be the designated driver?
I'm surprised
Yeah.
that these women out here in the audience, you can tell they're young heads because Monique talking about she wanted to be 74 to 78. Girl, you might as well live in the Bahamas, okay? And Grace and Mercy
She gonna
saying
burn me up.
75. I know, right? Like, no,
Gonna burn me up.
well, and the
Oh, God.
men may like that. I don't know. So we don't have to worry about it. But what are you thinking about the drinking, Sean? What do you think about that before we move on,
It's fun
Sean?
right now, but it can't. It's fun right now, but it can be very problematic in time to come because of sometimes people would resort to drinking when problems come, and I would not want to see that. You know, I'm just thinking down the road.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And I mean, you know what? I just saw something on here recently. They got mattresses and they've got pads, mattress pads where they have the zone. So like you have a queen size or a king size bed, they have zone for one person on the left side and one on the right. And you can turn the heating pad on, have it up as high as you want, up to how high it goes, number 10 or number 12 setting. And
Hmm.
then the person on the other side can have theirs all the way off or have it on one or two for just a little bit of warmth in the winter.
Hmm.
So what do you think about that? I mean, I think that kind of, you got at some point, you got to make some compromises, but hopefully you guys can still sleep together. Oh, Stay Tuned
Well, I
Reviews
mean,
is asking, what about Erica, like Eric and Virginia? Does this couple so far remind us of Erica and Virginia? Not quite yet.
No, because Eric was very well put together, and because he was a pilot, right? So he couldn't be
Yes.
yeah.
drinking. She was
Mm-hmm.
the one that liked to drink. So this couple, they both love to drink. Now Emily does remind me of Virginia, but not the couple as a whole because they both like to drink. So they're equal.
Yeah, they both like to drink. But you know what happened was Virginia turned Eric on to drinking because he almost lost his pilot's license. I don't know if you remember that or
Mhm.
not. It was
Yes.
Wow.
after the season had ended. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
his mother hurried up and got him away from her and said, you got to get a divorce from this drunkie. I mean, drunk. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the one that wanted to just sleep on her friend's couch, didn't she?
yes.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
yep, sure did, sure did. Wait a minute, Ellen V, you're from Florida. What is winter? Yeah, you're right. If you're from Florida, quite a few of our subscribers and members are from Florida, including Roro. So yeah.
But think
Okay,
about
so
think. I was gonna
we're
say
gonna
think
move
about
on.
this
We're gonna
now. Okay,
go
go
ahead, get
ahead. Go
that
ahead.
out, and then we're gonna move forward.
Well, I was thinking about now. You talking about the temperature in the room. Now you think about the normal body temperature is 98.6. Now, if you got 99 degrees between both people, that's 198 degrees right there. Plus the 70 something, that's just too hot for me.
Yeah,
And
that's
plus,
70. I'm not doing 70. I
if
think
y'all sleep in
70.
close
That's
proximity,
70. When my furnace is on 70, it's only because here in Michigan it's already under freezing temperatures. It might be
mm,
25 out, it might be -0 or something. Then you turn your furnace
yeah.
up. But other than that, it's at a steady 68. I'm sorry.
Mm.
But okay, we're gonna move on to Lauren and Orion. What did you guys think about the bonnet buddies? What did you guys think about that?
I loved it.
You,
Oh, I am here for the natural hair, the
Yes.
bonnet, because that's what I wear, bonnets. It
Me
was
too.
too cute that she pulled it out for him because that is a thing. Like, usually people like Orion with hair like his, they don't put anything on it. They just, put it in a ponytail and it's just all over the place. So I am
Mhm.
seeing that has gone viral maybe a week or so ago where I think it was a white lady. She was like, "Hey, y'all, let me show you something that you can wear at night so your hair isn't all in your face." And she put on a bonnet, and I was like, "Girl, we've been wearing these for years."
Culture vultures.
Yes,
No,
but
I'm
I
just
love
kidding.
it. Bonnet
Bonnet is
buddy.
for everybody, guys. This is not just for
Yes,
black people.
right, right. But I love it. It was cute. She, even had
not
two, which that would have been
yeah.
me too.
I loved it that she did have two, and I thought they
Yes.
looked really cute in it. But what were your
Hmm.
thoughts, Sean, as a guy? What were your thoughts about that?
Now the test will be to see if people go to the store with. The test will be to
No,
see if
no,
he's gonna
no.
go to the store with it on. I hope he ain't go to the
No,
store
no,
and go
no,
out
no,
in public with
no.
it
We're
on.
not
No.
doing that with Sean. You're a mess.
Right. I hope she teach him. She
What
got
we're
to
not
teach him
gonna do,
right
what we're
now.
not gonna do is
Yeah, no, I don't see him wanting to
what
do
we're not
that.
gonna
I don't
do.
I don't see him. He's not giving off those sassy vibes like that. No. And then speaking of sassy, because I've been watching a few reviews on this. Yes, I do watch other YouTubers podcasts and their reviews and recaps.
Yes.
Um, do you feel, I'm gonna ask this to Sean and then I'm gonna come around to you, Kimberly. Sean, do you feel that Orion is up for the job of standing up and being the leader of the home? Can he handle Lauren? Because we're gonna talk about this for a second too. Her friends at the brunch told him that twice, but each woman told him that she is an independent. Lauren is an independent black woman, and I was like, you know what? I am so ready to throw that trope in the garbage right now.
No, I mean he's not because of his cultural background. He's used to a matriarchy, but I mean this is a woman that's outside of his culture. Maybe he's used to the women inside of his culture being matriarchal, but I don't think he'd be able to handle a black woman being that domineering. If she proposes that, I don't think she's the meek and timid. You know,
No. Mm-mm.
I think she's a go getter. I think she's more aggressive and have more drive and determination than he does.
Okay. Okay.
I think so.
What makes you say that? What makes you say that she's career wise she's more driven? What do you see in her or him that tells you that?
Well, she's very methodical because she deals with figures, budgets, and money. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
one that likes to have splurge and like to have a good time and let the good times roll and spend like it's no
Mm.
tomorrow. And just seeing little bit with his interaction with her dad. I know they had just gotten married, but her dad was like, "Look, so many words. That's my girl. That's my daughter. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you're not here just to have a good time snowboarding in Denver and having a house in New York and all that. I get the
I'm
feeling.
trying to
I get
figure
the
out how he's gonna run all these households when he doesn't even run one household. I mean, he gonna go from 0 to 2 like it's nothing.
I get the feeling like a Steve and Noah guy. To me, that's what it
That's
seems
what
like.
I'm
Steve
beginning
and
to
Noah.
think too. Once again, they done it to the black woman. Once again, that dang on mask. They love
Yeah.
giving black women dusty men, even dusty men of different races and different ethnicities. My gosh. Okay, Kimberly, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about will Orion be able to be the leader? And what are your thoughts about that? And what are your thoughts about the strong black woman phrase? I'll just call it a phrase. I won't call it a trope, even though I think that's what it
Mhm.
is.
Got it. Yeah. I think he can lead, but it's going to be slow. Lauren is going to be ahead of him in this leading thing, and she's going to have a lot of patience. It kind of reminds me of Nicole and Chris, kind of like, Chris didn't mind Nicole being the leader so much, but we were like, come on, Chris, speak up and make decisions. But Nicole was too quick with it. And so I think that's what we're going to see with Orion. He's going to be too slow with leading, and Lauren is just going to take control if she doesn't learn to have patience. And now this
Okay.
strong black woman thing, I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. It's like we have to be strong because of what I said. A lot of times the men are so slow to lead, and then we just feel like we have to have a takeover spirit, which we don't, but we just want to get it done. So that's where
Hmm.
that strong black woman thing comes in, and I wish we could just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go. I say that too because honestly, I don't hear any other ethnicity or race or group of women. We don't hear people talk about strong
Right.
Caucasian women, strong Latino women, strong
Yes.
Filipino women, strong Hispanic women. You don't see it. You don't hear that. Anybody
Hmm.
talking about that. You just see people, women out there, not saying that women aren't achieving because it's a thing now. Women are achieving more so than they ever have in the history of the world. They are
Yeah.
politicians, they are scientists, astronauts, anything and everything in between, entrepreneurs. They're doing
Hmm.
roles that they never had before. And so I just don't like that strong independent black woman because, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't like it. I don't like it because the strong is to me a trope. It's used to say that I'm strong and I don't need any help.
Remember,
I don't know how to work together. I don't know how to collaborate with a man. I don't know how to even collaborate with other women. And I do collaborate. Like right now, we're doing a collaboration, right?
Right.
And then the independent part, I think in relationships, I've always learned in my sociology classes and my marriage and family class is that marriage and relationships, period, are about being interdependent and not
there
independent.
you go.
Because if you're independent, that means you're just solo. You don't need anybody.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I just don't like that. I feel like that's why I call it a trope, guys. I'm not a fan of that strong, independent black woman. We could say black girl magic, that's cool or whatever, but you know, miss me with the strong, independent black woman thing, because I'm definitely someone who is vulnerable, who needs a man, accepts a man's help, and we can be in partnership and collaboration. That's the way I look at it. I just
Hmm.
don't like it. I just really don't. So that's my thoughts on that. But one last thing before we move on to the last couple, guys, what did you think about the interaction that happened while they were in the on the ride to the airport, where apparently Cameron said that, guys, we got to be careful while we're in Cancun, Mexico, and we can't go off the reservation because it's dangerous. And then he looked over at Orion and said, "Oops, I'm sorry." What'd you guys make of that, Kimberly?
It was risky. It was I don't know if it was truly a slip of the tongue, if he was really trying to be funny, or throw jabs, because the way Orion handled it was perfect when he came back and mentioned the thing about ignorance, and then Lauren kind of patched it up a little bit. Ignorance isn't a bad thing, which is what Lauren said. It just
Mm-hmm.
means you don't know something. So I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping my eye on Cameron. But when we got to the air no when they got to the hotel, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's something about this guy that is just not going well. But we'll talk about that later when we get to them. So I don't know. It could have been maybe his personality. He thinks he's above people, because that's what I'm starting to feel.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a little bit too. Like we're gonna say, you're gonna talk about that a little bit more when we're getting to them next. But
Hmm.
yeah, and one last thing to ask you before I ask this to also to Sean, do you feel that Lauren is attracted to Orion at this point? What are your thoughts?
I think so. Or he's attractive to me. He's
Mm-hmm.
not a bad looking guy. He doesn't have any like abnormalities, or like a huge nose or anything crazy. It's just the long hair. Oh my goodness, keep that in a ponytail. So I think she is attractive. I think she is.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought
Yeah.
that she found him attractive, and like you said, I find him attractive. He's a little thin for me personally,
Right.
but
Yeah.
facially, and if I was, you're so young at that point. Sometimes you're young when you're in your 20s and 30s. You don't have the meat that you have in your 40s and your 50s and beyond. So I just cook him some good meals, some good soul food. But
Yes.
yeah, I think he's attractive, and I do feel like I feel like he's definitely physically attracted to her. So, what are
Mhm.
your thoughts, Sean? Come around and ask you that same question. What did you feel about,
Very.
first of all, the comment from Cam about the reservation? We'll start there.
I don't. I really don't know. Number one, because if all of them are just meeting for the first time, how does he know that Orion is native? I mean, no, Orion looks like a white dude to me. I mean, So I mean,
And his sister did
I,
say they were biracial, which I had immediately the question, okay, what are the two races? Your
yeah.
Native American, indigenous, and what's the other race? Is it
I think it's.
Caucasian?
I think it's. I think it's Caucasian. I think it's Caucasian in that. I don't think any
Okay.
Woody and Wood Pal, as the country will say. I don't
Hmm.
think there's any black in there. I know it's not.
No, no, I didn't see
Uh,
that, but I was just wondering because there's other things that could
so
mix between besides black and,
yeah,
and white. But
yeah.
yeah, you're
So I think
probably
I think
right.
it- I think it's white and native, and so and then to see, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't know if, I mean he didn't mean it, what have you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not offended by the. I mean, I guess because I'm not native, I'm not offended by the word reservation because a lot of natives were confined to reservations, particularly out in Oklahoma and stuff and places. So I guess maybe the negative connotation with it with being Indian people and what have you, maybe. But to your second question, I think he finds Lauren attractive, but I mean, I don't think he's too given on the compliments per se. See, I think she's more complimentary
Mm,
to him. I think she's more giving of the compliments to him as it seems right now than he would be to her.
okay, that's a good point. I would like to see him give a little. I would like to see him give her a few more compliments. That's a very good point.
Mhm.
These days, it seems like if we're watching these reality shows, it seems like the women do far more complimenting of the men than vice versa.
I think
Mhm.
that's real life too.
Oh God, I'm
Off,
behind then because I'm not giving you no compliment. I'm sorry.
yeah,
No.
I see it a lot. Real life relationships where the woman is leading and guiding, and just more uplifting, and then the man is just like, "I'm here. I love you. I like you. I'm here."
Mm, wow, we
It's
can't
a
even get
mess,
that. We can't even get that out of Cameron. Cameron says he's not
right?
very expressive, but I'm gonna tell you what my thoughts are about that. So yeah, you said okay, you said your piece on that. So we're gonna move right on over last couple, Claire and Cameron, and so let's continue the conversation a little bit briefly about the reservation comment. Now, I have seen on some sites where they're saying that in New Zealand, Europe, Africa, so in other parts of the world, not in the US, reservation is actually the word resort is synonymous with reservation. That's what I'm hearing now. I haven't been able to confirm that. Is anybody in our audience, or if you're watching this on the replay, please drop down in the comment section, the chat section, and let me know what's what. Like, really? Do you guys, does anybody know? Um, I felt like I didn't mind that if he made a mistake, like to Sean's point. But did anybody catch that he also said when they talked about ignorance, he came back with, well, what about willful ignorance? And then I said to myself, so anybody that knows what willful ignorance is, it means that you intentionally want to remain ignorant. And I thought that wasn't cool. And he's laughing about it. I think that he's just a butthole at this point. So I'm watching him. My eyes are on him. Sean, what
Hmm.
were your thoughts about that comment? Willful ignorance.
Yeah, Dr. Martin Luther King said it best. There's nothing worse than sincere ignorance than conscientious stupidity. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
so so it could be conscientious stupidity, maybe at the most. I think that's what it could be. Maybe he's not. He sees himself. I mean, he doesn't see fit himself in this American mode because he grew up in New Zealand, even though his mother
Mm-hmm.
is American.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Right. Okay.
So it's like a
All
us and
right.
them.
Well, okay, then let me ask you this. As a man, what did you think about his bride's comment about the luggage? That she struggled with her luggage throughout the whole trip, and he has these long legs. He left her as he was walking to get on the plane, and then he was standing there even when she caught up with him. I thought it was the height of rudeness. Like he's what did you think about that,
Oh
Sean?
yeah, that was one of a couple of things that rubbed me the wrong way with him. Uh, but yeah, that one right there, that it shows that how absent-minded he is. You know, your wife is struggling, and then to retort, well, you didn't offer to help me with mine. Like, well, I don't know whether he's brain dead or what. I don't know.
Yeah,
He-
yeah. I think and I have seen that before with a guy that I dated that was in the military. So the new HR thing is that people are gender neutral and women
oh
should be
wow.
able to do the same things. That's why he asked her, was she capable? Was she able? But still, for a romantic situation, I thought that's fine for work. But if we're in a personal situation and you trying to get into my honeypot, you might want to cooperate a little bit better. But that's just me.
I
I
mean,
could
this
see
little
where
lady ain't
she
about
would,
4'10".
huh?
She ain't but like 4 foot. She ain't but like 4'10", and he's like
Yeah,
6'5", 6".
yeah, 6 feet.
She's
Yeah,
struggling.
right. She was struggling. And like he said, well, you brought the big luggage. Well, that's what women do. We pack more clothes than we need and more accessories and a bunch of swimsuits. So I can't help it that he only packed 3 shirts. He don't care about how he
Mm,
looked. That's weird to me. Well, Kimberly, what were
yeah.
your thoughts about it? What were your thoughts about these things, about the comment about the luggage and how he left her behind? I thought it was very. What did you think? What did you think?
Oh, I was screaming because we go live and I have my mute on, so I was screaming at the TV.
Sure do. Oh yeah, guys. Let me interject my commercial right here. Guys, go over to Kimberly Reviews and put your notifications on. She does a Wednesday live watch party of Married at First Sight, so we can all watch live and
Mhm.
jump down in the comments. And she talks to us during the commercial break, and it is so much fun. But go ahead. You were saying,
Thank
Kimberly.
you. Yeah, it was so rude. Oh my goodness. First, from the leaving her part, that is a big thing because I'm short, 5'4", and I've dated guys who were much taller. I dated short, and I've had this conversation a few times because like the tall guy I dated, long legs, so he naturally, took bigger steps, and I had to break
Right.
him back down and do the same thing that Claire did. And he was like, he didn't know. He was like, what? No, I'm like, yes. When you have longer legs, you do walk faster or further. It's something with it. But I also dated a slim and short guy, and he just walked fast naturally. So both of them, I had to have this conversation. Like, I'm not gonna be dragging, drug around like a little puppy. You're gonna have to slow down,
Go
hold my
down.
hand. Like Claire said, hold hands, then you'll know you're leaving me. So I love that she voiced her opinion. But this
Yes.
luggage thing, and then he act like it wasn't a big deal. Are you not? It doesn't matter if I'm capable or not, sir. Hold these bags. Like it's that simple.
Now you bring
That's
me to
it.
my you thank you. You bring me to my next comment though. Now I have to say, how do you think their communication styles are different, and are either one of them a good communicator at this point? We're gonna go over to Sean, who's over there shaking his head. Shaking his head? What is going on, Sean? Are they good communicators? Do they have the same communication style and love language? What do you think?
No, they definitely don't have the same love language, but and Cam is definitely not a communicator. I think she's gonna eventually get on his nerves
She
to the
talks
point
a
that
lot.
she does
She
talk a
talks a
lot,
lot. Hmm.
and if it was a man, it'd be like short man's complex syndrome. But he I don't know what his brain how his brain processes things. I mean, I don't know whether he's just in his own head. He just feel like it's just him. That he's been single for, and because talking about being in a relationship for a year, then decompress, and another relationship for a year, then decompress, and
Yeah, what was that
you know.
all
So
about at the brunch when he told her family that? I said,
I,
you know
I
what, this is
don't,
a guy that don't need to be married.
yeah, I think that's what's in his brain. The decompression. Inhale, exhale, decompress, so forth. So I think
They
this
should
is
have.
where he's
Hey,
seeing
hey,
this
look, maybe they should
relationship
have
like.
matched him up. Hey, Sean, maybe they should have matched him up with the drunkard lady,
Ooh.
Could I,
with,
yeah, yeah,
with
oh yeah,
Emily,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
so they could decompress
oh
and drink
yeah.
together.
Yeah, there were so many things wrong with Cameron. So many.
Yeah. What? Okay. So, what were your thoughts on a
Yeah.
situation with him? You know,
Oh yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
their communication styles, do you think they have similar communication styles? Is she over talking
No.
herself? What do we think about Claire? Because she's not perfect. While we're getting on him, I got some
Right.
thoughts about her too. But go ahead.
No, I think it's different, and they want the same things because they're not overly affectionate. But Cameron said that he liked to hold hands and kiss or touch or whatever, and Claire likes it but doesn't like too much of it. So I think they're just having a hard time getting to the same goal, but they want the same thing. I also didn't like though when they got ready to go to sleep. Cameron was like, "I'll be asleep as soon as you stop talking," and it was like he just was not interested. It
Yeah,
was
she was like, "Oh,
terrible.
you just want me to shut up."
Did we take that as lighthearted shade, or what was what did
Ah,
you take
Just
that
like,
as?
just shut it, like
yes,
shut it right now, and
yes.
just shut it
It
right
was
now, and just go ahead
terrible.
and shut up.
And
But
then he
he's
didn't
the
even
only
take the
one of the
robe.
couple. He's the only one of the couples that we are almost assured that took a shower, because these people come in from this long
Yes.
day and we don't never hear the. But I will say that could be a trick of editing, and maybe they're waiting for the producers and the cameramen to leave the room before they take their shower. I don't know, but he did at least take a shower. You know what I thought about when he was sleeping on top of the covers? I said, you know what, that would never work for me, because as soon as I go to turn with them covers, he's on top on his half, and I can't get my extra covers over this way.
Right.
It's gonna be a problem. So why don't you just get up under the covers? If you want to be in your robe, get up under the covers with your robe. I'm sure she said he had on the after party. She says that he had on shorts and a t-shirt, so he could have
Hmm.
got under the covers, because it was clear they weren't going to do anything. I felt like that much was very clear.
Hmm.
I've got, I think, one other question for this couple. Hold on one second. Um, I feel like Claire, and this is what I wanted to say about her communication style, and two things. So I feel like their love language, he says that he is very physical. He likes he likes hot and heavy time. And so what I said to that was when he was talking to her parents and he was trying to be very PG-13, I said, you ain't fooling nobody. You just like to get the yams, and you don't want to talk, and you don't want to be affectionate verbally. That's not good, sir. That's the reason why you're in and out of relationships for a year and then they got to decompress because you're not affectionate. You're not being in love with anybody. He's one that I would really suspect when we get down to it, we're going to find out that he's never been in love with anybody. Okay, that's one of my bets right there. And then for the communication for Claire, Claire kind of often she talks too much and she talks in circles. So she's saying on the one hand to us in the confessionals that can we, I want to have I want to be physical with him, but I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. I'm saying, you know what? Some of these couples at some point just need to reach over and give each other, give him a kiss on the cheek. Start there. Start with something very simple. Start with holding hands when you're sitting there talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be anything major. You're not
Mhm.
going to jump right into hot and heavy time. That's our code for sex on this channel, right? Hot and heavy time. But I mean, just give each other a kiss. Just give each other a hug. What's wrong with a hug with your clothes on? What's the problem? But my last question for them was, um, where do you guys think Cam was on January the 6th?
Climbing the walls.
And those of you that get that, I'm talking about the DC situation on January 6th. What about you, Sha? Where do you suspect that Cam might have been on January 6th?
I think he was taking a walking out like Mike. I think he was talking a walking out like Mike. No, it,
Huh? I didn't catch
it,
that one. I'm sorry.
no, taking a walking out back. The Australian dialect.
Oh, oh, oh,
Oh.
oh. He's New Zealand, but okay, I see what you're saying
Yeah,
though.
it's
Similar, similar,
right next. They right next door.
right
They
next door.
kissing
They
cousins
the
right
next
next
door.
door. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
I think he was taking a walking out like Mike. Yeah, but
All
yeah,
right. Well, let
he
me
could
ask
have
this.
he could have been in DC. He could have been
You
he
could
could
have
have been in
been. Let,
DC.
let me just ask you this as we wrap it up. It's almost at the 50-minute mark. Let me ask you this question. Favorite couple, least favorite couple. Start with Kimberly.
I'm still holding on to Orion and Lauren, favorite couple together. Least favorite, I think it's gonna have to be Cameron and Claire now, but Claire's my favorite girl, like my favorite individual this season. So
Oh,
Cameron
okay.
is messing it up.
He messing it up. Okay. All right. What about you, sir? What about you?
Well, least favorite couple is gonna be Cameron and Claire already. My favorite couple is waiting to be seen, I think, but it's gonna be probably a dark horse candidate. It's gonna be Michael and whoever they match him with. Watch.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and that we ain't gonna talk about that. We got less time left. I was gonna say, I'm just gonna say it for myself. I can't speak for these two. I don't understand why Maps is dragging Michael up to the airport to meet with this couples and talk to them about anything, or maybe it was the hotel. Maybe it was the hotel. But I don't understand. I don't want to see Michael ever again. Like, okay, you had
Same.
your 5 minutes, not 15. You had 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes of fame. You can move on now, sir. I don't want to see you anymore. Unless and until they match you with a bride, don't come back this way, sir. Don't cross our screen no more. Okay, with your asymmetrical bob. Bye. Bye. And that's me. That's it. That's it. That's all, guys. We've had a great time with you. We're gonna get ready for our Ready to Love, Make a Move live. Yeah. What did she say? Grace says jumping in and out of a window. Right. It's just too
Mhm.
much. Too much. We don't need to see you no more, sir. Go ahead and get out of here. But guys, we've had a great time. Sean, tell the people where they can find you, and then we'll do Kimberly next.
Sure, you can reach me on Instagram at my IG is SANDRES 1906. Once again, it's Instagram at SANDRES 1906. You can also find me on Facebook under my first and last name, SHAUN. Stokes. Thank you.
That's Sean Stokes. Yes, thank you. And Kimberly, we've talked about your Married at First Sight Live. You also have some other things over on your channel. Can you tell them briefly about that before we get out of here?
Yeah, so I also post my travels. I love traveling and investing in me. That's kind of like my thing that I enjoy doing. And I also talk about debt freedom. I try to sneak that in here and there. I believe in being debt free. So come on over, Kimberly Reviews underscore on Instagram, Kimberly Reviews here on YouTube and Facebook.
All right, all right. And I'm just actually Aubrey, and I'll be back in another hour at 6:30 for Ready to Love, Make a Move recap, guys. We're out of here. Say bye.
Take care.
Later. Peace.
Bye. Love you guys.